Okay, just a couple of things before we start. One clarification and one confession. The clarification. If anyone abuses anyone, sexually abused, say, it needs to go to the police and it needs to get prosecuted. If someone hits someone, then I've either got to deal with it or go to the police and get prosecuted. If an employer abuses an employee, then the same thing needs to happen. Straightforward. I believe in the letter of the law. Okay, just to clarify. All day today, I've been hearing about this so-called famous businessman, so-called billionaire famous businessman, and this is all I've been hearing. This so-called famous businessman was supposed to have abused his so-called employees, which are stroke now victims. This so-called businessman decided to speak to these so-called victims stroke employees and offer them money to keep their mouth shut, which means they had to sign a contract to say they can't say anything. These employees stroke victims decided to take that said money and sign that said contract. A newspaper had found out that this so-called famous businessman, billionaire, which they made a big deal about, by the way, had signed a contract with his so-called employee stroke victims that they need to keep their mouth shut because of some sort of abuse or suggested abuse. The newspapers went to the courts, tried to overturn it. The courts turned around and went, no, it's a legit contract. You can't say diddly shit. Confession. I can't stand Peter Hain. Seriously, I've tried to do this video 3 times, and every time that man gets in my head, I just get peed off. Right, so Peter Hain is a so-called lord in the House of Lords, and he used what they call parliamentary privilege. Parliamentary privilege is, in the Commons and the Lords, they're able to say certain things, sensitive things, that would otherwise could get them sued by the outside world. It's so that our parliamentary system are able to talk frankly, basically. This dick, I'm not going to call him a gentleman, this dick, Peter Hain, decides to use that parliamentary privilege to shout it out like a Spartacus moment. You know, the whole Cory Booker thing. I cannot take this anymore. I'm going to name this person. Now again, going back on the start of my video, do I think that anyone abuses anyone should be prosecuted? Well, proven. Yes, absolutely. But this dick in the House of Lords actually went against the contract that a businessman and a so-called employee victim had signed. Now you've got to start to think. Just because Philip Green signed a contract with these employee stroke victims doesn't actually mean he's done anything wrong. What it could mean, and this happens a hell of a lot, is that people put out these things that happen, and businessmen, especially people like Philip Green, don't want it to go to the media, so they pay people off. Look, just keep your mouth shut, don't say what you're saying, and we'll give you loads of money and you need to sign this to go away. Because it always tends to be cheaper to do it that way than go through the courts and ruin your reputation. It happens all the time to big businessmen. They have lawyers to just clear all this crap up. So to believe that Philip Green is guilty without going to court and getting it proven guilty, if you really believe that, then you're one ignorant bastard. Peter Hain took it on himself to do exactly that. He'd drawn and quartered the man without even knowing what's going on. He done a Spartacus moment because he believes he's in the right, because he believes he likes doing virtual signalling. You see my point? None of us know the true story of what's actually happened. So until it goes to court, or it needs to go to court, then people need to keep their bloody mouths shut. And if you try and do a parliamentary privilege so that you can get this glory moment, then you are one sick fucker. I'm out.